Hi, this is Chris from Team Phoenix. So today I just wanted to talk about the search for missing Suzanne Morphew. The search, of course, that's been organised by her brother Andy Moorman, and it's taking place in Salida, Colorado. They began yesterday, 24th September, and it will be going on for 6 days up until September 29th. Early reports are that Barry is at his house. They're obviously searching around near the house, and there's early reports that Barry's there. He's been putting down trail cams, and he's been sort of over his shoulder, been brandishing it's been reported as a shotgun or a gun. It's kind of been put out there as if he's actually in a threatening matter. We don't know the full story on this. He could well be just protecting his property. After all, it's private property. If he's got the girls there, then he may also be, of course, be worried that people may be planting evidence on his property if somebody really has it out for him. We just don't know the full story on that. So I think we'd have to wait to hear more about that. But I thought it's been quoted as kind of 100 volunteers. I'd imagine it's probably going to be a lot more than that. People are continuing to sign up, I believe, and of course the search has been assisted a lot by the Profiling Evil guys. They have a YouTube channel, and they have been fundamentally helping with the search. They've been putting together maps, and they've got heat maps of sites that have been searched and what have you. So it'd be interesting to see how this develops. So if we just start out, we can watch this short video here that I have. This is from CBS in Denver from yesterday. I'll give you an idea of the first day and a half of the search, really.
Suzanne Morphew story tonight. Suzanne Morphew vanished during a bicycle ride on Mother's Day. She has not been seen since. Family and friends take their search to find her into their own hands. Today, they scoured hillsides for any sign of this missing mom in Chaffee County. CBS 4's Mountain Newsroom reporter Jamie Leary live in Poncha Springs tonight. Jamie, the FBI, the CBI, the Sheriff's Department, they have already spent a lot of time looking for her.
And her brother, Andrew Moorman, said he just needed to get here and see for himself and search the area for himself. And he ended up organizing a pretty large group of volunteers that plan to meet here at the Poncha Springs Visitor Center every morning for a 5-day search period. We were here this morning as boats and ATVs loaded into the parking lot, some from Indiana, where she is originally from, and others from right here in Chaffee County, all determined to find something that will shed more light on her disappearance.
Look, observe.
The terrain was rugged at times, but the search for any sign of Suzanne Morphew pressed on.
I'm feeling hopeful and sad at the same time. It's just, I just hope we get some answers and some closure for Andy and his family.
Kathy Amenta bonded with Suzanne last year through their cancer treatments. Suzanne was new to town.
She was, yeah, and she made friends instantly. You just met her and everyone just loved her.
Now Kathy is here supporting Suzanne's brother, Andy, who's leading the 5-day search.
Let's just step forward gently.
Thursday morning, the large group split into separate search areas.
And we're going to fan out, and we're going to work that area very carefully, okay?
Right away, Andy, along with 50 volunteers, headed to the area surrounding Suzanne's home.
I do feel like this area has been searched over before us, but I still want to walk it again.
Searching in a grid, volunteers turned over every log they could. Andy believes at this point Suzanne won't be found alive.
And at some point, you have to realize when somebody's missing after so long that the chances of that diminish dramatically. And, there's always a chance, but I think it's very slim at this point.
His biggest fear is finding nothing at all.
The best I'll be able to get out of that is at least I gave it a damn big effort.
As far as Suzanne's husband is concerned, he has released a statement on his own and is talking with investigators, but right now he's not talking with media. The Chaffee County Sheriff's Office says they couldn't take the lead on this search for liability reasons, but we saw sheriff's deputies out today acting in a support role. Live in Poncha Springs, Jamie Leary, CBS 4 Mountain Newsroom.
All right, Jamie, thanks so much. Right now.
So it's interesting there. Even Suzanne's brother, Andy Moorman, now, due to the length of time that it's been since Suzanne's missing, it seems that even, that they've come to the acceptance that it's likely that Suzanne, is not going to be found alive. And you also just get an idea there of just how vast the area is that they have to search, and how treacherous, some of the terrain is going to be for them in the search. I found this article today from the Daily Mail, and it appears clear that investigators are demanding security footage now from businesses near the Holiday Inn hotel, where it's now known that Barry stayed that weekend. So it'll be interesting to follow that story. Of course, we had Jeff Puckett and Morgan Gentile, the workers that he had working that weekend, and they've kind of provided their stories of that hotel stay and how they smelt the strong smell of chlorine in his room. And then we've had people that have visited the hotel and said that some say it does smell very strong, some say it doesn't. So it's very much conflicting information, kind of as this investigation goes on. But of course, it is a worry that it's been reported that Barry's home smelt strongly of bleach, and I think that's always been a concern to me anyway. Now, something interesting that I saw people are commenting on. This was on Profiling Evil's channel. As I say, they've been very much involved with the search. They've been creating maps and trace maps and heat maps of areas that have been searched. And people noticed that on one of the screens they had showing, there was sort of a list of things that have been found. So if we just have a quick look at that. So this is on the 24th September. It says rectangular, disturbed area, rectangular soil pattern. And then somebody found a bone. And then one that I thought was very interesting, it says an animal boneyard along this canyon road, finding newer bones. And then it says Patrick Tubbs, who has rescue experience, proposed that since Barry, you can't actually read the rest of it, but I thought that was interesting that they found an animal boneyard, or they're finding animal bones. Is this going to sort of lead to maybe talk of a mountain lion, and maybe are they going to find tracks of a mountain lion, and how is that potentially going to play into the stories? I thought that was quite interesting. Another area that seems to be there's a lot of talk about at the moment is the work site where Barry did that weekend job in East Salida. I think it was someone on social media commented about they're very experienced at building these kind of beach site or beachfront, kind of scenes, if you like, to a river. And they said that there was kind of some irregularities with the way that this has been laid and the rocks. And this is something that a lot of people have been commenting about, and a lot of people saying that they hope they search there. So it'll be interesting to see if we hear any further news on that. I would hope that they've done a thorough search of that site, of that work site. Of course, we know that they've been there, and they obviously dug up the concrete at that site. There's now a house there, but it'll be interesting to see if investigators ever go back there to do any further searches. So if we just sort of looking through Twitter and seeing what the noise is on the ground. As I say, people are mentioning about that work site, and there are a few kind of short videos of people at the search yesterday, people meeting up. I think this was probably the first day where everybody was meeting up, and you just get an idea here of the, like I say, the terrain that
What it should look like, a nice straight line going through. Keep an eye
the
on
searching involves, and just how vast it is.
what it should
So
look like, a nice straight line
I think
going
the
through.
idea is that they just, like he was saying there, they just walk through in a straight line, see what they find. If they find anything, they'll tag it and pass the details onto law enforcement. So it will be, obviously it's going to be an interesting 6 days to see what they find. If these finds are anything to go by of bones and animal bones, then they're certainly going to have a lot to work with. Of course, there is a possibility there's going to be a lot of animal bones out in that area because of things such as mountain lions and that kind of thing. One thing I did find very interesting was Lauren Scharf, the Fox News reporter, who's been covering this case extensively and was expected to be at the search, and she was hoping to interview Barry. She's actually apparently has been pulled out, so she's not going to be, or she hasn't been, certainly up until now, at the searches. So I really don't know quite what is happening there. I'll just see if I can bring you a kind of up-to-date note on that. So it just says here on Lauren Sharp's Twitter, this was yesterday, it says, unfortunately, I won't be at the volunteer search today in Chaffey County. My thoughts and prayers go out to Andy Moorman and all those that are searching for Suzanne. So obviously that's creating a lot of talk that, why isn't she there? Because obviously everyone expected her to be there, or hoping that she'd be able to speak to Barry there. So the fact that all of a sudden she doesn't appear to be turning up, when she was previously here, like here a couple of days before, reporting less than 48 hours from now, hundreds of people volunteered to search for Suzanne. And she even says we'll be there to give updates about the search. So it's interesting that now she's saying she's not going to be there. So I thought that was quite interesting. But I will keep everyone updated. Obviously, what we can do is keep an eye on the news of these searches over the next 5 days left now, and see if we can find out, what they found and what news comes of it. So please keep watching if you're interested in the Suzanne Morphew case, as I'm sure many of you are.